Mr. Chris Wharton, how are you?
Mr. Aaron Pitt, I'm very well, thank you.
Now, I'm very proud to have you in the back because you've had a career in the media industry which you could call long, which you could call successful and diverse.
Well, thank you very much. It certainly feels like it's been a long time. Some would say I've had success, and certainly it's been diverse.
Now you head up the West Australian. You work right alongside, I would say alongside with Kerry Stokes. You've groomed some of the biggest talent that have come out of WA and obviously worked all over Australia. What does it take? What have you learned?
I think over the years I've learnt that you've got to be decent to people, and if you do that, you get the best out of people.
Now, you started in community newspapers, if my research is correctly.
Well, actually, I started with a paper called The Sun in Sydney, and I started as a copy boy. So yeah, that's where I started actually.
And you work all the way through. So I suppose what I'm saying now is you've obviously merged the Seven network with the West Australian. Where do you see media going? I mean, at the moment, a lot of people watch video over reading. Then you've got the paper now, which you can view with your phone, your iPads. What do you see is going to happen?
I think we're lucky at Seven that we produce a lot of our own stuff, and the Australian programming, stuff like Zoom TV even, you know, it's Australian programming. We choose when we're the ones that are going to put it to air first. So you can't download it and fast forward it because we control it. So that's the TV side. On the newspaper side, our circulation has just gone up for the 5th time in a row. We're bucking the trends nationally and internationally. I still think there's a lot of life in the old girl yet, but we are grappling with the digital onset, and we're developing digital products. And no matter what, some way, somehow, the West Australian will be published. Whether that's digitally or on paper for a long time, who knows?
Now, talking about some deep stuff, in your career, you would have seen a lot of breaking stories, you would have controlled, I suppose, the way some of the people found out. I suppose, what would have to be one of your most memorable breaking stories?
The most memorable one for me was the 9/11 attacks. Coincidentally, we were all together, the news director, myself, our chief of staff, and I got a phone call from my wife, and she said Alison Fan, the famous Channel 7 reporter, had rung and said that a plane had gone into one of the towers. We just all went and did our jobs, and it was a horrific, absolutely horrific, obviously, tragedy, but in the sense of as a breaking news story, only that and Bali, I think, they were the biggest ones I've ever seen.
Chris, just explain a day for us. I'm sure people like me, the only real influence I had on a newspaper was watching Clark Kent. I mean, what's a day in a paper like?
They call it the daily miracle, right? Sometimes I think it's a miracle that it gets done, but not really. You know, there's a lot of people. It's a manufacturing process. You know, there's so many people involved. At the West, there's about 1,000 people to get that daily newspaper out. So it is a daily miracle, and it's something that we do, you know, 6 days a week, 52 weeks a year.
Okay, now it's time to get on to my question. I'm going to drill you. I'm going to try and be a journalist. 5, a Sander, fast 5 questions. You ready for them?
No comment.
You can't say that. I'm going to push you. Okay. It's not on the record, right, okay?
Okay.
Off the record.
Okay.
Not really. Okay, this is the first question. Is the first car you ever owned?
A Mini.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, now what is your opinion of the best car on the street?
I like Lexuses. That's what I drive, and yeah, I think they're the best on the street.
Why is that?
Well, I just love the comfort, the silence, you know, everything like that.
And the economy as well. Lexus have got that
great
nailed
economy.
down.
Yeah.
I love being economical on a Zoom. Now, what would you call the worst car on the street?
Anything other than a Lexus.
That was see, such a journo answer.
Dave Geary, I love you.
What do you currently drive today?
I drive a Lexus 600 SL hybrid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Wharton, this is the big final question. Okay, this is like my journo question of the whole interview. What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is not fulfilling what I promise. It's not a fear of failure, but I like to deliver what I promise, and you know, I'll go to the ultimate ends to do it.
Now, Mr. Wharton, that's what I like about you, and I'm not trying to be, you know, all nice to the boss, but you are a very, very likable and a very, very motivating, and to most of us people in TV, you are a mentor. You don't even know you are.
Thanks, mate.
That's what I love about it. So
appreciate it, Aaron.
Thank you very much
for
coming.
Enjoyed this.